Hello, it's Beach Cams Man and Jack from Bam, and we've got another update today of Behind the Sea Wall. So Jack, can you tell us what's been happening?
So since the last visit really, our main focus has been completing the trackside units. So all of them apart from I think 4 are in now. The reason why the 4 of them aren't in is where we're pumping concrete through, so we can't install the last units until we've completed all of the concrete works and we work our way out of the job basically.
Yeah.
And then we close up the holes where the pipes run through from the station car park.
Okay.
We had a big focus on Coastguards over the last 3 weeks since your last visit as well.
That's right, because that was, yeah, you was putting the steps and the panels in, last 4 panels I think when I was here last time.
That was it, yeah. So with Coastguards, there's 3 walls. There's the upper wall which connects the new promenade to the existing promenade, so you don't have that dip down where the old boathouse used to be.
Yeah.
There's the main wall which then continues along the line from the existing facing panels and the recurves to provide the resilience. And then there's the front wall, which is where the stairs are built up to gain access on and off the beach. So today we've got the guys working over there on the MOOP. They're putting the back and rod into the wall. That's just a temporary kind of formwork that we use to pour the grout into, where the grout fills underneath the recurve unit. And we've also started grouting up and over the recurves, and then we take that out and then we polysulfide the unit, and then the front underneath, on the underside of the units, we use a marine mortar to seal everything.
Right, okay.
And that kind of is the finished product then. So
ready for a winter storm then?
Indeed, yeah. I mean, it was a bit, there were a few storms that have come in over the past couple of weeks really. Well,
yeah.
Not wouldn't say storms, but it's been a bit choppy.
Been rough seas, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. So we've started, you can see the viewing platform areas from down here now. So basically the viewing platform areas are where the stainless steel fencing is along the wall. So there'll be 4 areas like that. So far to date we've done 2, one there,
that one there,
and then there's one a bit further down on the wall.
Okay.
But there's 4 viewing platform areas as you walk along the wall, and then you also have raised promenades on either end of the site, so members with reduced mobility can see over the wall.
Brilliant.
The idea of the fencing is obviously to provide the minimum height clearance which we need from promenade to top of fencing to be compliant with the relevant standards.
Yeah.
So all of the facing panels are in.
Very impressive.
Block wires and Coastguard wires. We finished the upper wall with Coastguards. It's a very tricky thing to build because you have to build it from inside out basically.
Right.
Because because of the lift radius of because of the weight of the concrete and the lift radius, we wouldn't actually physically be able to build the front wall and then build everything to the rear because the concrete's too heavy for the crane to lift at that radius then.
Okay.
So we basically have to build the wall from inside out.
Yeah.
So the upper wall's built, which is the one which connects the 2 promenades together, so you'll get a good understanding of the levels and how the kind of 2 schemes this scheme and the existing wall tie in between each other, and then you'll get an appreciation of the kind of stairs which we'll be building down in the ramp. This is still very much a work in progress, and I'd say by the end of the week, by Sunday, which is roughly the end of the this springtide period, a good chunk of this will be finished. All of the recurves will be put in by tomorrow, so that'll be everything complete then for this section of the wall. The guys are landing, I think 4 or 5 units today on top of the blocks, and then they've got another 4 units to land, and then there's the remaining L units which go in to kind of close off the top of the promenade where the steps go down. But you will get an appreciation for levels and things like that now. So you can obviously see the transition over the top of the, where we've got the artwork on the facing panels there for the old Coastguards bridge, where we've covered that up. So they've just set the crane pad up, they're landing, that's the 2nd unit of today now, and they've got I think 3 more there to land.
Yeah.
All of this rock armour that we're using here is basically to create a ramp in and out of Coastguards. Yeah. Like I said, we've had to build Coastguards inside out essentially. So what you've got there now, that is where the wall will end, the main wall. Yeah. Underneath there then you will have a lower section of promenade, which is where you walk up the stairs to gain access onto the new promenade, and then you'll have a set of stairs which come down then onto the beach. So our focus over the next couple of shifts is closing the recurve units up the top, getting the stairs in, finishing the stairs, and then we'll start building the outside wall then. So there's quite a few units to go in here. There's probably about 30 items of precast to go in here as well.
because the steps are going to start there and go up to the right, aren't they?
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah. Well, look, we can walk up here. You just can't gain access up onto the
no worries.
promenade. So this is where we've been coming in and out with the 70-ton excavator each shift. So it's kind of a daily task maintaining all of this, really.
Yeah.
So far, I think the blocks are 6 blocks high. There's 7 columns there, so there's 42 blocks there, 10 on the back wall, and so far we've installed 2 on the return here. So where we're stood now will roughly be the height of the finished promenade in this area. What you'll have then is a section which ties the upper promenade there into the existing promenade over there, so you won't have the dip or the ramps down anymore. You'll still have the access up onto the beach from here, and then you'll have a staircase which is going in there. So what the guys have done last night, the shutter in which you can see there, that basically forms plinths on where the staircase will sit on.
Okay.
And then the staircase will be basically in here.
Right, okay.
So in this gap here, we've got 2 more blocks to go on, and then we've got some rather big L units which go in the corner here. And they've actually got some artwork on there of the old boathouse.
Oh, okay, amazing.
So that's been kind of 3D printed into a mould, and then we've cast the concrete around the mould with the old Coastguards boathouse in the actual precast itself.
Nice.
Just as a bit of kind of
keeping the memory there.
Memory there, really. Yeah,
really like that. Really like
obviously,
that.
it was an old structure, and I think it will be missed by quite a few people.
Absolutely.
So the actual blocks themselves, you can see up the top there, we've got the big 57.5mm diameter bars sticking out. So those bars tie the recurve unit right the way down through the blocks into the piles which we installed below.
Yeah, okay.
So the piles in this section go roughly, I think, 10 or 11 metres into the ground.
Yeah.
And those 57mm diameter bars go down 6 metres through the blocks, and then roughly 1.5 metres to 2 metres into the pile itself.
Right.
So that's what ties everything together.
Yeah.
And then all of this will be tied together with the structural slabs, which the guys are on with at the moment, which we're going to have a look at when we walk round, just because there's no access up this side at the moment. Back of wall, that's all finished. We're getting ready to pour a structural slab up there today, and that will be, other than the surfacing, that ready to open, really.
So this is going to slope down to this promenade, did you say?
No, there's a staircase that goes just in here.
Okay.
To go up. Obviously, you've got the ramp back down to the other side of Coastguards breakwater. You won't have that ramp there anymore.
It'll just go straight across.
It'll just close it off, and then you'll be able to walk basically from Marine Parade up the ramp, all the way around, all the way through. So there won't be any dip in here any longer. That'll just tie straight into the existing promenade over there. Great. So that we're looking at that probably towards the back end of next week, start of the week after. I'm getting that completed. You've got the kind of transition units there. The idea of that is so when people walk up the stairs, they don't hit the head on a big recurve unit which sticks over the edge.
That's going to hurt.
And then there's some stainless steel handrailing to put on both sides.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back, it'll come down here then, and then you'll come back down this section into another staircase which goes down onto the beach then.
Okay, brilliant. Great progress.
So we've got the guys who are working on the right hand side with this little lift here. They're putting in the recurve fencing. So like I said, there's 2 areas which have already gone in.
Oh yeah.
This all has stainless steel handrailing right the way down to the end of the recurves there. So that you'll see something very similar to what we walk past in a moment right through here. And that's purely because the promenade level lifts up through this area as you start to get back down to colonnade. We've started the surfacing slabs. So I think after today we have done 3, 6, 8. So we've done 10 surfacing slabs to date.
Right.
We plan to be completed with the surfacing slabs roughly towards the back end of next week. That doesn't include any of the granite sets though. So the areas where you have the raised stainless steel handrailing, that's all granite sets like down at Boat Cove.
Okay. So this section here is where the concrete's still coming in from, isn't it? Which is why it's...
Yeah, which is why we've left the steelwork out in the slab at the moment.
Yeah.
So through here, we've just regulated this with concrete, and then on top of this, we have the granite sets in front of the handrailing, like I just mentioned. And that's purely on viewing platforms and on the approach ramps either side. It's very shiny.
Yeah.
And
so that's marine grade, is it?
It is, yeah. Grade 316 stainless. very expensive as well.
Yeah, it looks it. It's quite bling.
It is, yeah, it is. And then we're just in the process of starting the surfacing slabs now. So we pour these hit and miss basically, so we can get the joints, the longitudinal joints along the walls sorted, and we can also get the horizontal joints between the promenade in as well. So every third bay we have an expansion joint, and the joints in between are just what we call like crack inducers. So it stops basically the slab from cracking and things like that if you pour bays too long.
Great.
So what they do with these, that's not finished as of today yet. So they blew out into the bag that you can see here.
Yeah.
That's where they blow the lines out into. And then the two slabs which you can see here now, they let the concrete cure for a little while.
Yeah.
They then come back and they brush finish the top of the slab. So they brush stroke from left to right. Mm-hmm. And then they trowel the edges of the slab, so we can have a look at a few of them finished up there in a moment.
Yeah.
So these are purely just for access while the concrete's still wet, just so we can gain access up and over.
How long does this take to dry, each slab?
It's cured by the day after.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all finished by the day after. So it's very similar finish to marine parade. Like I say, you've got the 100mm board around the edges, 50mm on the horizontal joints. The kind of brown material that you can see there is for the expansion joint itself. That gets pulled back out, and then we polysulfide, which is kind of like a sealant, which goes between the slabs, same as down on marine parade.
Okay.
So we do the vast majority of the hits first, and then we come back and do the infill bays in between then. So again, there's another viewing platform here. That's getting ready to have the recurve fencing bolted onto.
Oh, so that noise is actually the concrete being delivered right now through these pipes, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Just gets pumped straight through. So we're pumping roughly around about 160 metres today.
Okay.
Which is quite a distance to pump. So we use a smaller aggregate in the concrete. And we increase the water to cement ratio, so it flows through the line a little bit better.
Yeah.
Basically just change the consistency.
Yeah.
Again, we've got another viewing platform. Granite sets in this area again. So as you can see, most of our work's all down at the bottom end really on the shifts.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So what we're running at the moment is 2 tidal shifts.
Yeah.
They're finishing the units, and then we've got a separate day shift and a separate concreting gang which are doing the surface and slabs. And then we've got the day shift which are kind of servicing everybody from up at 1Ls on Timoth Road.
Okay.
That's with all the precast. Everything down here has now been laced together. None of the trackside wall units were in the last time you come down,
That's
I don't
right,
think.
Yeah. You were just taking the old wall units out, or that you're preparing to take the old wall units out, yeah.
That's it, yeah. So the trackside wall units, they all need to be put in line blocks or possessions just because of how close you are to the railway line there.
Yeah.
So we undertook line blocks over the last 2 weeks to install those. And then the last 2L units down the bottom where they're doing the concrete port at the moment, they were installed over the weekend on the possession. And that's everything finished trackside now. The structural slabs, there is roughly, I think there's roughly around about, I think it was 12 or 13 tonne of reinforcement in these bigger slabs here.
Wow.
That obviously all gets fixed by the fixers, what they're doing at the moment. So, like previously, you have 6 recurve units which tie to 6 L units. And on these slabs you also have large 40mm dowels which tie the slab down into the substructure below.
Wow, it's a good bit of space up here then.
Yeah, yeah. But about where you stood now, there'll be 2 stairs. And then on this side you'll have an elevated promenade, and then you'll have some stairs which run around here.
Yeah.
And then it will ramp down from the stairs back down to towards the end of the wall over there and turn around the corner, so you can physically walk up here without having to walk up the stairs. And roughly where that stainless steel chair is on the slab there, that's where we're going to be putting the old section of the Coastguards wall which was broke out over there as benches.
Oh, amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
so nice little sort of seating area up here then as well.
Yeah, that's it. So you'll have a little bit of seating area down there, a little bit of seating area on the left. And then obviously when we do get onto colonnade and start our works at the underpass, there'll be a lot more seating down there as well.
Wow.
So everything that we took out from the wall we have retained.
Amazing, that's really good.
So we can use the material at a later date. We've got the guys on the right with the crane, they're installing the recurves, so we've just watched that from down on the beach.
Yeah.
3 guys in the white over the back, they're carrying out a concrete pour, so there's roughly about 21 metres cube of concrete to go in there today. And that's the last structural slab over there. And then we have 2 left. One which is where the tower light is and the guys are installing the unit.
Yeah.
And then there's a very awkward kind of slab to cast which goes right in the corner where we've got that Coastguards unit imprinted on, Coastguards image imprinted onto the unit. And that's everything kind of done in this direction, then ready for surfacing.
Amazing.
So towards the end of the week, come Monday morning, I would say all the units are not being over there. All of the structural slabs will be there or thereabouts complete over here. This is getting poured, the one that they're fixing at the moment, on Friday, so there's no kind of real hanging about. As soon as the units are in, the steel's fixed and the slab's poured as quick as we can, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely super fast progress.
We can have a little wander over the back and have a look at them. Just watch yourself on the bars. Boys, how you doing? You all right?
Yeah, they're all right. Right.
So this is the upper level where you'll walk down the staircase there. So that's poured just about the same width as what the staircase is going to be at the moment. So it's about 2.3 metres wide where you go down there.
Okay.
And then you've got the guys over the back placing the concrete into the structural slab to tie those L units and the recurve units together. And then our surfacing levels, if you just have a wander around here. So where you've got the black drainage pipes in the wall, that's our surfacing level in this area.
Right, yeah.
And then it'll start to ramp down and then it'll tie back into the existing promenade over there then. So it'll completely remove, like I mentioned earlier, the dip that was here before, which is great for members with reduced mobility as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you can physically access from colonnade all the way along the wall now, whereas before there were stairs down from the boathouse here.
That's right.
And then there's a very, very steep ramp, which is definitely not DDA compliant.
Yeah, I've had many scares of rough seas on that ramp before, so yeah, that's going to be great. Right, well thanks Jack, that's been a great tour and brilliant progress. Give these guys a follow at Bam Nuttal, also Network Rail and the South West Resilient programmes. There's links in the description.
Thanks for coming down again, Neil.
No worries, great to see you. Cheers.